Well, good morning. As you probably know, we're still doing video, and it's difficult at times to communicate what we would like to say, but this time it's rather interesting. Jesus is in Caesarea Philippi. That would be like one of us being in Iran or Iraq, just a completely different area for Jesus, and one that was not it was foreign to Jewish people. So Jesus is talking to his disciples and he is asking them, who do you think I am? You'll hear this in the gospel lesson. And the disciples are saying different things because each disciple had a different point of view. But Jesus then asked Peter, and Peter says, you are the Son of Man, you're the Messiah. And Jesus says, you're right. And then Jesus says something very interesting. He says, on you, Peter, the rock, I am going to build my church. So we're all familiar with rocks. I have a little pebble in my hand. We live on the lake, and I've watched people skip pebbles. I don't know if you've ever skipped pebbles. But when Jesus is talking to Peter about being the rock, he is talking about stability. If you think about it, the most stable people in your family are usually your parents or your grandparents, your uncles and aunts, because they've had more experience. So you can turn to them and get questions answered. And when we think about rocks, well, we think about big rocks. We think about rocks that you may have that you throw at squirrels, perhaps. But at the same time, there's a country in the Mediterranean called the Rock of Gibraltar. So rocks can be very big, very stable, and are probably immovable the bigger they get. So Jesus looks at Peter and says, you're going to be the rock on which I build this church. And by that he means you appear to be stable. Now we know Peter has problems in the next few chapters because he denies Christ, but he's a human being like all of us, and he comes around, and he becomes more and more important as we read more books in the New Testament. But for us, our challenge is, who do we think Jesus is? We're like the disciples. The disciples had been with Jesus all through his ministry. They've seen crowds of 4,000 and 5,000 and 6,000 people. Jesus was like a rock star of his day. So all that being said, we will make decisions as we go through life. And as the older we get, we're going to have to decide who Jesus is for me. For us and our family, Jesus is our Savior. He is the means by which we come to the Father. And for all of us, Jesus is our rock. He is the most stable figure we can turn to in times of need and crisis. Right now is a good time to turn to Jesus and just simply ask for help going to school, getting through this crisis, and understanding that he will protect us. So let's close with a little prayer. Jesus, I accept you as my rock of salvation. I accept you as the person to whom I can always turn for help. Be with me and keep me and my family safe as we go through this difficult time. Well, thank you guys.